Are you interested in real estate investing? Would you like to know the first few steps that you can take so you can be successful?
I want to know more.
All right, fist bump.
Chest bump.
The first step for most people investing in real estate, and the step that requires as little money, is wholesaling. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Cam is an expert wholesale. Say hi to everybody. Say hi,
What's
Cam.
up, everybody? How are you?
He's been on a couple of my videos before. He is an amazing wholesaler. How many houses have you wholesaled this year?
I think I've done 40 or so closed deals, but some of those were package deals, so I would say over 50 for sure.
He's wholesaled over 50 houses, and he started in May. We're recording this at the end of December, so in about 7 months out of the year, he's done probably over 50 houses. So he knows a lot about wholesaling, and he started from not knowing anything to doing that in less than a year. So that's what we're going to cover. We're going to cover the basis of wholesaling in this video that helps get your foot in the door for other types of investing. If you're a landlord, guess what? You're going to run across properties you're going to want to wholesale.
Yeah.
If you're a fix and flipper, you're going to run across properties you're going to want to wholesale. This is the foundational piece that sets up everything else and gets your foot in the door.
Yeah, 100%. It's foundational to anything in real estate.
So make sure to stay tuned to the end, because we are going to tell you Maisie's joke of the day. I know it, Cam doesn't know it, so we're going to get his legitimate reaction to see if my jokes are funny, and he always laughs because he has to.
He's my boss.
There you go. As you're watching this video, we'd really appreciate if you guys would hit that like button. It doesn't take anything but a click, but if you like that, you'll hopefully see more of our videos, and we can help educate you more and help you become more financially free through real estate for free, just for our YouTube channel. So give us that like, we'd appreciate it. Do the like sign.
Follow it. Share with your friends.
Perfect.
That hurt my knuckles. All right, so if you don't know what wholesaling is finding a property, putting it under contract, and then selling that contract to another end buyer for a profit. It is an amazing technique within real estate, and what I love about it is that everybody wins in wholesaling usually. Usually the seller wins because they sell a property that they don't want. You win because you can make a little bit of a profit on that, and then the end buyer can win because they can buy a property at a discount and turn around and flip it. They can turn around and put it in their own rental portfolio. There's so many different things that you can do it. So everybody wins. I love wholesaling. There's a lot of money in wholesaling as well. And like we said before, it is a foundational piece to real estate.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great way to put it. And there's lots of talk, or I guess a little chatter about, is wholesaling legal? Is it ethical? All this kind of stuff. And we're here, we do it all day, every day. It is incredibly important to the real estate community in general. If you don't have wholesalers, I'm telling you, if for some reason it got banned tomorrow, which I'm positive it will not, you would have so many rundown houses that they wouldn't get foreclosed on. There would be more short sales. Neighborhoods would go down in value. Wholesalers help somebody out of a situation, and then the person they sell that house to makes that situation, makes that house in the neighborhood better, and raises up the values of all the houses in the area. So if you don't think wholesaling is the right path for some of those ethical or other reasons that you've heard, that is simply 110% false. Wholesaling helps the people that you're buying the house or getting the house under contract from. You make a little bit of money, sometimes a lot, and then you sell to somebody on the other end, and they can usually do pretty well and get it rented and put a really nice family in a nice neighborhood, or sell a house and have a nice family move in, and everybody wins.
Yeah, to piggyback on that, just in the last 2 weeks, I've bought 2 houses where the person has broke down and cried when I offered them, because they said, I don't think, they didn't think they could sell their house because it was in such terrible shape. And so I was able to buy those houses from, and when I did, they literally cried because they didn't think they could sell their house. They thought they were just gonna have to get foreclosed on by the bank or walk away from it and just leave it sitting there vacant. And I was able to buy it, and then both of those we've already resold, and somebody's gonna go in there and rehab it, add value to the community. Again, wholesaling, if done right and done ethically, it is a win-win-win situation, and that's what we want to do. We want to create
those 3 wins.
Win situations for everybody.
To finalize that little conversation about the ethical way, doing the right thing, if you do this right, you can do it, everybody can be happy, and there can be zero risk on your part because you're having a contingency in the contract. Now, the ethical part about this is making sure the seller knows about the contingency. If you don't have money to close on the deal, you need to put some type of contingency when you're putting the contract under contract to purchase. And that can be simply something in the special agreements or something written in there that says you need a 2-week shopping period to get a, to get a buyer in the house, or you need an inspection contingency, or you need a partner approval or finding us a contingency, some type of contingency that allows you to legally exit the contract before closing if you don't have the funds to close on it. So that's why there's no risk if you do that right, and as long as the seller knows about it. You need to make sure the seller knows about it, right?
Yeah, and I would say for 98% of my properties, and I've built up a little bit more cash reserves to where I can take that risk. So 98% of my properties, I make an offer with no contingencies involved. But when I do offer a contingency, I am very, very upfront with them of, hey, we're putting a contingency in here because we can't close on this property. These are the deals that don't really work for us. We're scared of it. The house is fallen down. The foundation's messed up. I tell them straight up, hey, I cannot buy this property, but I'm networking with some of the biggest real estate investors in the country, and I think one of them would be willing to buy this. But to do that, I have to put this under contract and then write in a shopping period. And so I think that it turns into being unethical when you lie to them and say, you know, I'm gonna put this under contract, I need a contingency up until the closing date, and you don't tell them that you're shopping the property. You don't tell them that you're not gonna be the one closing on the property. So anytime I do have a contingency, I tell them that I'm gonna be shopping it. I want them to know that. I don't want them to find out by seeing me shop it on Facebook or somewhere else. And so I think that's one of the ways you stay away from that unethical dilemma. Like the house where the lady broke down, I was on a contingency and I told her, hey, we would be at 32, but I can buy it, or I can give you 40 for it on a contingency, but I'm going to shop it. I can buy it right now in cash for 32. At 40, I'm going to shop it to somebody else. And she said, well, I want to try a 40. So let's go with 40. And we ended up shopping it and we sold it for 50 within a week. So a win-win-win situation.
Everybody wins. She got what we want. So that's exactly, or she got what she wanted. That's exactly what I was saying. If you do things ethically the right way and are transparent with the sellers, then you should not ever get in trouble. And honestly, most people, when they're just getting started, don't have the funds to close. So you're going to have it in there. So just get used to putting it in there. And it honestly doesn't scare a ton of sellers. It really doesn't, less than you'd think. So just make sure you have it in there. Be honest, upfront, and transparent the entire time, and you won't get any trouble. All right. So now that you get the property under contract, Cam, and you're going to sell it. That's what wholesaling is. You're not fixing and flipping. You're not keeping it as rental. You're selling it. So there's several different extra strategies that you have. There's kind of two little veins that we're going to talk about now. One is if you have money to close, your exit strategies, and if you don't have money to close. So let's start with the don't have money to close, because I feel like that's probably most important to most people.
Yeah, so if you don't have the money to close and you've got a shopping period on that, you want to blast it everywhere you can. If you have a buyer's list, blast it out to them. Put it on Facebook investing groups, send out an email blast, send out a text blast. We've gone as far as finding other investors, which you can find on PropStream, ListSource, the MLS, other investors in the area, and skip tracing all of them and calling them up and saying, hey, I've got this property that's 2 doors down from you. Would you want to buy it? So there's tons of different ways within, you know, if you're not going to close on it, to find a buyer. It just takes a little bit of legwork, but you know, you can make an easy 10, 15, 20, sometimes 30, 40, 50 grand on it. So that would be the best way to do it. If you don't have the funds to close on it, you have got to shop that thing like crazy until the contingency is up.
So Cam just talked about how you shop the property. Now, some of the terms that you'll hear if you don't know already about closing on the deal or getting paid on the deal is an assignment and a double close. So kind of the differences in those are, an assignment is you are assigning the contract over for a fee. So let's say you bought a house for 50 and you sold it to the end buyer for 60, that's a 10 grand assignment fee. So you're just going to assign that contract over for 10 grand, and when the person that you sold it to closes, the title company writes you a check for that 10 grand. So that's an assignment. Some people shy away from that if there's a big amount of money they're making, because obviously on the closing statement, it's going to say a 10 grand fee paid to you. So the person, the people that are in the deal are going to know how much you made. Yeah. If you don't know how much you make, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, people do this sometimes. If it's a big amount, a lot of people will double close. That means you close on the property, even if you don't have the funding because you already have it sold, you close on the property, and then, you know, within minutes, the people that are buying the property from you close on it, and it's a double close. You're both simultaneously closing, and at that point, no one will see how much you make on that.
Yeah. Love it.
Okay, all right. So now let's get into some exit strategies or ways that you're going to get paid if you do have some money, some funding, some backing. Because even if you have some money to close, which we do, lots of times we don't want to close ever. We just want to just get rid of it, get in and out. So if you have some money to close, we do utilize these extra strategies if we feel like they're the most profitable for the certain ones. And you just did a good one. So the first one let's talk about is wholetailing. What's wholetailing, Cam?
So one of my favorite strategies within wholesaling is wholetailing, and that is when you close on the property, when you have the funds to close on a property that you put under contract, you do that, then you clean it out. You don't do anything else to the property. You don't fix anything up. You don't replace the carpet. You don't paint. You literally just clean it, and then you list it on the open market to somebody that's going to want to buy it as an end buyer, not usually an investor, an end buyer on that. And so that's one of the best exit strategies if you have the funds to close,
And
where
if
you
it's
can
a
make
really
the most
clean,
money.
nice house,
If it's a nice house, which I've bought in quite a few houses that don't need much work, and the best exit strategy is to wholesale, and so we just list on the open market, makes pretty good money on it.
Yeah, wholesale, clean, and list. Both of those words are used pretty interchangeably. They pretty much mean the same thing. I'm sure you could get into some technical definitions, but basically just closing on a house and cleaning it, closing with your money, cleaning it, and listing it out on, where all the realtors list their properties, where, a lot more people get in front of the eyeballs on it than other. But you have to have the funds to close on it to do that. Either your funds or other people's funds. It doesn't have to be your money. It can be a hard money or private money lender, which we have a ton of videos on that. This video up here, we talk about how to find private money lenders and things to say to them to get them. And then in this video, we talk about hard money lending, where we really go into a lot of detail on how to find hard money lenders and the rules and regulations. So if you get into wholesaling and you're enjoying yourself and doing well and making money, but you want to expand, spread your wings a little bit, which is the path that most investors take, honestly, you get more exit strategies, and the exit strategies you have is you basically wholesale it yourself or keep it. So after you buy it, you can either fix it and flip it, close on it and fix it and flip it, which we have a ton of videos on that. And then what's the other one, Cam?
Throw it into your own rental portfolio. One of the sayings in wholesaling is keep the best, wholesale the rest. So if I come across a great property that's going to make a great rental for me, I'm going to throw it into my own rental portfolio. If I come across a great property that I know I can make an amazing profit if I flip it, I'm going to flip it. If it doesn't meet my numbers, I know it's going to meet another investor's numbers, and that's when I go to the wholesaling route and try to sign the contract, double close on the contract, any of the other exit strategies. But my favorite exit strategies are obviously keeping it for my own rental portfolio or flipping it myself. Sometimes the numbers don't work, so then we wholesale it.
I love it. So getting into this wholesaling, getting into the industry and getting to know other buyers and sellers and the banks and all the other different things is going to broaden your Rolodex and broaden your horizon and your mindset on what you can do. So that's why wholesaling is a great way to get started. So we're getting ready to tell you Maisie's joke of the day. But before we do that, I want to talk about Cam. Part of the reason I brought him on this video because we are going to be launching a wholesale academy early next year, early 2021. We're going to teach everything we know about wholesaling, everything from finding deals to digging them up, going into a bunch of detail and everything. Cam's one of the best wholesalers in all of St. Louis, so he's going to be a big part of that. So just wanted to let you know that's coming and keep your ear out for it. So you ready for Maisie's joke of the day?
Let's hear it.
All right, so what did the ocean say to the shore?
What did the ocean say to the shore? I don't know.
Nothing, it just waved.